everybody. I'm Jerry Willis. This is a special edition of the Willis Report with a Fox Business exclusive investigation on the FAA's new hiring policies. Trouble in the skies. A diversity program for America's airports comes into question.
The FAA made some very dramatic changes to the way they're hiring our air traffic controllers. This, to me, is really troubling.
They threw you away. What do you think of this?
They don't really know what they want.
And there's evidence of cheating to get crucial aviation jobs.
There are some valuable pieces of information that I have taken a screenshot of. I'm going to send it directly to you because it's exactly how you need to answer each question.
I was shocked.
Sounds like cheating.
That is absolutely sickening.
It's very unfair, very unjust.
Are America's skies safe to fly?
Social engineering at the risk of compromising safety.
And welcome to this special edition of the Willis Report, Trouble in the Skies. Tonight, we're investigating the FAA's disturbing new hiring policies. It's going to be the busiest summer ever for air travel in this country. Over 220 million Americans will take to the crowded skies. There are more than 5,000 planes in the air at any given moment. In fact, including military, commercial, private planes, nearly 90,000 flights crisscross the United States every single day. And that is a lot of planes. And it's the job of air traffic controllers to safely manage those flights. You'd think the federal government and the FAA would want the best, most qualified people in the control towers. But a 6-month-long Fox Business special investigation reveals that's not the case. Adam Shapiro brings us this exclusive report.
Each day, almost 2 million Americans take to the skies, and all depend on aviation professionals to get home safely. Hello, I'm Adam Shapiro. Air traffic controllers, those eyes in the towers, are key to this. But new hiring practices by the Federal Aviation Administration have called into question if the best, most qualified people will be working in the towers. Moreover, there are accusations of cheating to get the controller jobs. Will you be safe aboard an airplane, or is there trouble in America's skies?
They've been called the guardians of the skies.
Good morning, American 11 with you, passing through 190-230.
America's air traffic controllers manage the safe takeoff and landing of more than 87,000 flights a day.
American 11, turn 20 degrees, right?
It's been called one of the most demanding and stressful jobs in the U.S.
United 93, go ahead.
Never was the importance of what controllers do more apparent than on September 11th, 2001.
Severe bleeding. There's a slashed throat.
Another one just hit the building. Wow.
Controllers scrambled to determine which of the thousands of planes on their radar screens had become guided missiles. They also tackled the tremendous logistics of landing 4,000 planes within a few hours.
A new type of war.
Today, the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, the government agency responsible for air traffic control, faces a new crisis.
Probably in the next 1 to 3 years, we're going to see some real problems.
Doug Williams is program director of the Aviation Collegiate Training Initiative, or CTI program, at the Community College of Baltimore County, Maryland. It's one of 36 CTI schools established by the FAA across the U.S., offering 2- and 4-year degrees in air traffic control.
CTI program brings in people that are genuinely interested in air traffic control. It gives them the skills that are required to be an air traffic controller.
The FAA faces an acute shortage of qualified air traffic controllers. Controllers are required to retire at age 56. The FAA estimates it needs to hire 1,000 controllers a year for the next 10 years to keep air traffic moving safely.
The FAA actually created the CTI program in the early 90s, anticipating the retirement of air traffic control. So they saw the shortage that was coming.
But Williams says recent FAA hiring changes are making the problem worse. Fox Business brought together 6 recent CTI graduates, all of whom had one dream: to serve the nation in a control tower. Ryan Beckerdite grew up around air traffic controllers.
Your dad's an air traffic controller.
He was, yeah, he just retired.
Ben Ovney served 5 years in the United States Air Force.
I was an air battle manager. I directed fighter intercepts from the NATO AWACS.
I love this industry. I love airplanes.
Miranda Riley found her life's passion early.
I think it's fascinating. This industry is a unique one.
Matthew Douglas visited a control tower in his native Seattle, Washington. He was hooked instantly.
I like maps. I like spatial information. It's a way to contribute to the community and make sure that everyone gets home safely. I quit a job at Google Maps to go to school in Anchorage, Alaska. I made the 2,500-mile drive by myself with my dog.
My dad and my uncles, my grandfather are pilots to varying degrees.
Lucas Johnson grew up around aviation.
Air shows, tower tours, ever since I was little.
And Ariana Bocci found her calling in college.
I started my sophomore year in aviation because it fit my personality.
To pursue a career as air traffic controllers, all 6 entered CTI programs.
It was the established way to get into air traffic control. You go to FAA.gov and it said attend a CTI school, so that's what I did.
After graduating, the next hurdle to being hired by the FAA was the Air Traffic Selection and Training Exam, or ATSAT.
It's an aptitude test that was administered by the FAA.
Actual control scenarios, games that test your ability to multitask, all skills that are essential to this job.
So was it your understanding that the ATSAT was the test?
That was the key test.
As I understand it, the ATSAT is a 0 to 100 score.
85 to 100 is well qualified.
Tell me what your ATSAT score was the last time you took it.
I got a 94.
Matthew?
My score was 100.
93.6.
85.
100.
86.
All achieved the well-qualified status on this crucial test. In late 2013, they were confident they would be hired by the FAA to become Certified Professional Controllers, or CPCs. It made sense. The FAA always gave hiring preference to CTI grads with the highest scores on the ATSAT.
I had 2 degrees. I finished my air traffic control program with a 4.0, and I interned for the FAA. I think that I had a decent chance, absolutely.
Ben, you have this really high score on the test. You're a veteran, which they're required to actually seek people like you out. What were you thinking, say, in November of 2013 as the 2014 job bids were about to be announced?
I was excited to get the ball rolling.
But out of nowhere, on December 30th, 2013, the FAA suddenly informed CTI schools and then thousands of their graduates it was completely changing the hiring process.
We learned about it in a letter that we received on December 30th, 2013 from the FAA explaining that they were no longer going to give hiring preference to CTI graduates.
After years of study and for many thousands of dollars in student loan debt, CTI graduates had to start all over. Everything they had worked for was deemed irrelevant. Not only was preferential consideration for their degrees discarded, even the ATSAT test, that crucial aptitude test, would no longer be a primary requirement. Instead, the FAA introduced a so-called biographical questionnaire, or BQ, and in February 2014, thousands took this new test. Let me read some of the questions from that test. What has been the major cause of your failures?
A question that everyone seems to love is question number 21, in which they ask,
the number of different high school sports I participated in was,
and these are multiple choice questions. What did you think when you saw this biographical assessment, is what it was called in 2014?
How does this relate to the job? How does this determine what's going to make a successful candidate?
I thought it was easy. I was like, sure, I can answer these.
And then what happened?
I got an email saying I was not qualified.
Anyone else get that email?
Sure did.
Sure did.
All of us.
Yeah. These 6 and thousands of other well-qualified CTI graduates were deemed ineligible.
How'd you feel, Lucas?
just kind of crushed, lost. What am I supposed to do?
It breaks your heart to work so hard for something and for someone to say that you're not legible because of a personality exam.
I don't understand how people of this caliber, this group, were not able to proceed.
There are some valuable pieces of information that I have taken a screenshot of, and I'm going to send that to you via email.
Did someone have the answers to the test?
That is absolutely sickening. That is cheating.
Very unjust and utterly disgusting.
Adam, amazing reporting. Congratulations on that. But I want to know about the cheating.
Did someone have answers to the test? The answer is yes. And you're going to meet the person later tonight who sent that text voicemail. But first, you've got to see how those students react when they hear it for the first time.
Adam, stay put. We'll need you more here. Up next, as we continue our special investigation into the FAA's corrupt new hiring policies, why did the agency suddenly throw out the test scores of thousands of potential new air traffic controllers? And we'll hear more from that military vet who flew planes into battle for a living and was then told he didn't have the right stuff back here at home. Stay with us.
June 1st, it's Fox Business Network's powerful new lineup. At 3, no one takes you inside the day's last trades like Liz. Then at 4, Francis and Asman have the smart analysis after the bell. And at 5, Deirdre gets you the investment perspective you won't get anywhere else.
Insurance should be a lot of things. It should see your business the way you see your business. We think insurance should come from a friend, someone you trust, because actions speak louder in person. When it's right, we think insurance should love what you love. The Cincinnati Insurance Companies. Everything insurance should be. Visit CINFIN.com and talk to your local independent agent about what matters to you.
You can call me shallow, but I have a wandering eye. I mean, come on. National gives me the control to choose any car in the aisle I want. I could choose you, or I could choose her if I like her more, and I do. Oh, the silent treatment. Real mature. So you want to get out of here? Go National. Go like a pro.
Phazon doesn't just treat gas, it attacks it. Phazon 250 milligram strength, with twice the amount of medicine per tablet as Gas-X Extra Strength.
There is wonder in me and wonder in you. It's a sense of place, something you can see, feel, and taste. And when you're moved to wonder, wonder moves in you. Wonders never cease.
Contact your travel agent to book your 2016 Scenic River Cruise and fly free to Europe.
I use the Ultimate Shave from 800razors.com for a lot of reasons. The razors are precision made in the U.S., and the price is way lower than anything I can get in the store. But mostly, I do it for the ladies. 800razors.com.
Feeling good about Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, or Amgen? They're all components of XLV, the healthcare sector SPDR ETF, which includes over 50 healthcare and biotech stocks in the S&P 500 to help add diversification and minimize single stock risk. Why invest in a single healthcare stock when you can own the entire healthcare sector of the S&P 500? Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Go to sectorspiders.com for a prospectus containing this information. Read it carefully. Visit us on the web at sectorspiders.com.
Having a strong economy means having a strong nation, and that means you can better protect yourself in the world. That's a big part of what we'll be discussing every day.
Premiering June 1st. Don't miss The Intelligence Report with Trish Regan.
We're back with our special investigation into the FAA's hiring practices that could endanger the millions of air travelers in this country. Before the break, Adam Shapiro reported how the FAA suddenly changed its hiring process, telling qualified candidates they had to start over and pass a new test. What's worse, people who dedicated their lives to being air traffic controllers were shut out by a dubious test on which others may have cheated. Here's more of our investigation, Trouble in the Skies.
In February 2014, thousands of graduates of air traffic control schools learned their dreams had been crushed. The primary path to a job in America's towers, a path established years before by the FAA, was suddenly abandoned.
Their degrees were now irrelevant. Scores on the ATSAT test ignored. Worse, the grads had been deemed ineligible to become controllers. Why? A murky and strange biographical personality test newly implemented by the FAA to select candidates.
Being a military aviator was my lifelong goal, and I achieved that goal. Air traffic control was a very, very solid fallback plan. I was using the GI Bill, going to community college in my hometown.
Then a grateful nation thanked you by saying you were ineligible. How did you feel?
This was just completely incongruent with any logical sense.
There's no information for us to understand how we can improve or what we can focus on to make ourselves a better candidate for the FAA.
I contacted senators and representatives and no one could get an answer.
Anybody ever say what made you eligible or not eligible?
We've asked that question also, and members of Congress have asked the FAA.
The FAA made some very dramatic changes to the way they're hiring our air traffic controllers. Nobody understands what this biographical questionnaire is evaluating or why they're not making it through.
I'll have Michael Horta from the FAA reach out directly to you.
This to me is really troubling.
So let me read to you what the FAA says. This test has been proven to be a valid instrument for assessing experience, work habits, education, and dimensions that are related to success on the job.
And yet, just months later, the FAA published a different, conflicting report titled Using Biodata to Select Air Traffic Controllers. It says, based on an analysis of the relationship between certain biodata items and training success, we conclude that the evidence for using these biodata items for controller selection is weak.
Makes no sense. Where's the logic behind it? If it's weak, then why would you use it?
They just based an entire hiring force on biographical data, and now they're saying that it's weak.
By all accounts, what's driving these changes in hiring of air traffic controllers is a program to promote diversity in the nation's control towers.
Diversity is a noble goal. I'm not going to sit here and deny that.
It generates a better atmosphere when you have people from different backgrounds, and I completely agree with it.
Back in 2013, the FAA Office of Civil Rights published a massive barrier analysis on the impediments or barriers for minorities. It states the first steps of the original hiring process are the most likely places for systematic adverse impact because these steps are responsible for the vast majority of fails. It also says the CTI program is much less diverse than off-the-street hires.
The barrier analysis concluded that you're not diverse.
We had completed a diversity study which showed that we were showing significant progress in helping the diversity within the FAA air traffic controller ranks.
Lucas, are you African American?
Yeah.
They threw you away.
Either they've got enough African Americans or that they don't really know what they want.
Matthew, you're Native American, right?
Correct.
Miranda, female. What do you think?
I think that they had a goal and they went about it the wrong way.
A former air traffic controller himself, Mike Pearson now works as an aviation lawyer.
It's my belief that the FAA is engaged in a pattern of discrimination, and now they're covering it up.
Pearson and others believe diversity advocates strong-arm the FAA into changing its hiring practices.
You had social engineering, in my belief, my opinion, going on. It was driven by two arms of the FAA, two different organizations. One was the Human Resources Group, and I believe there was another group engaging in what I believe is discrimination against qualified candidates.
What is that organization?
The NBCFA.
The National Black Coalition of Federal Aviation Employees.
Excuse me, National Black Coalition of Federal Aviation Employees.
The coalition is an umbrella group for various minorities. Anybody considered a minority can join.
The NBC FAE had formed a team to try to change the hiring process. Now, they're certainly allowed to advocate for their group. That's legal. The one thing they're not allowed to do is advocate for a group at the exclusion of another group.
Pearson suspects the FAA abandoned the well-established CTI training program and threw away qualified and well-trained graduates to bring in off-the-street hires without aviation degrees and that way achieve greater diversity.
Social engineering at the risk of compromising safety.
But there's more. The advocacy on the part of NBC FAE appears to go far beyond a change in hiring practices. Fox Business obtained a troubling recording made by an FAA employee who's also an NBC FAE executive.
I'd like to play something for you.
Associate members, brothers and sisters, to listen. I know that each of you are eager, very eager, to apply for this job vacancy announcement. And trust, after tonight, you will be able to do so.
It was sent as an audio text to certain applicants who were already members of the organization.
Allow me to go to work and come home, provide you with an email that will be extremely crucial in the opening stages of this hiring process. There are some valuable pieces of information that I have taken a screenshot of, and I'm going to send that to you via email. I'm about 99.99% sure that it's exactly how you need to answer each question in order to get through the first phase.
Utterly disgusting.
This is just handing out the answers.
That is absolutely sickening. That is cheating at the most unacceptable, highest level that I've ever seen right there. Pure and simple cheating.
It's my belief that the FAA is hiding the truth.
It sounds like cheating. It sounds like someone inside getting information out to people.
There are people from the NBC FAE who say you gave them the answers on the test. Well, who do I speak to about this?
No comment.
Adam, that last clip, is that the man who sent the audio text message?
That is the man on the recording, and you're going to meet him in a few minutes, and you're going to hear what he has to say or not say about all of this. And there's even more. We haven't even begun to tap what's on that recording. You're going to hear a lot more.
All right, coming up, did the FAA know about the cheating? And if so, what did it do about it? And more on the man at the center of the cheating scandal.
How do you do, Mr. Snow?
Mr. Snow, it's a simple question. Just want to ask you why you gave the answers to those students on the aircraft control exam. We have members of the NBC FAE who said you gave them answers to the biographical questionnaire.
People all across America are tired of tossing and turning all night, snoring like a freight train, and waking up with aches and pains from pillows that simply don't work. Introducing MyPillow, the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation. Unlike ordinary pillows that lack support, lose their shape, or heat up, MyPillow's patented three-piece interlocking fill creates a cooling effect and allows you to easily form MyPillow to your unique shape, regardless of sleep position, providing maximum comfort and support of the cervical nerves in your neck and spine, resulting in the most restful, comfortable, deep healing sleep you've ever experienced. MyPillow is made right here in America with a patented Comfort Fit fill that's antimicrobial, non-allergenic, and machine washable and dryable, just like your favorite pair of blue jeans. Plus, MyPillow comes with an incredible 10-year warranty. That's right, 10 years. We'll even give you 60 risk-free nights to sleep on it to ensure your complete satisfaction.
Try the pillow. You'll like it.
I love snuggling up to bed with my pillow.
My pillow has been a godsend for me, and I love it.
Here's breaking news. MyPillow is now the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation. And to celebrate, Mike and all the men and women who proudly make MyPillow right here in America are sharing their best offer yet.
For a limited time, when you buy one of my pillows, I'm going to give you the second one absolutely free. That's a savings of 50% on what I guarantee you will be the most comfortable pillow you'll ever own.
Enter promo code MY82. And Mike will give you a second MyPillow absolutely free.
Don't spend one more sleepless night on pillows that simply don't work. Call the number on the screen or go to mypillow.com and get fitted for your very own MyPillow, the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Ready to make some money?
The concept of the show? To get people to believe in investing again.
Watch Making Money with Charles Payne, weeknights on Fox Business.
Would you like your investments to make more than 20% a year? Well, since 1988, through good times and bad, our Zacks #1 ranked strong buy stocks have generated an average annual return of 26% a year. That's nearly 3 times more than the S&P 500. And now in our new book, we are revealing how we pick the stocks that consistently beat the market. And if you're one of the first 250 people to call in right now and just cover shipping and handling, we'll send you a copy of our new book for free. Elite investors pay millions of dollars per year to access our stock picks. And now our book will show you how we pick our stocks for free. Don't settle for average market returns when you can make Zacks returns. Call now for your free book and discover our proven way to consistently beat the market.
Call 1-800-655-3975. That's 1-800-655-3975. This is a limited time offer, so call 1-800-655-3975 right now.
And welcome back to this special edition of the Willis Report. Tonight, we're investigating the evidently corrupt practices, hiring practices that is, at the FAA. As you've seen, a big focus of our investigation is how the FAA changed their entrance test. Adam Shapiro is with us. Adam, you reached out to the FAA. Why did they say they changed the test?
Okay, important to note that they refused to come on camera, but they said, and this is a quote from their written statement to us, to increase objectivity and select those applicants with the highest probability of success in the FAA's rigorous air traffic controller training process. There are questions about whether that's valid.
And what did they say about cheating?
Asked them specifically about the cheating, and they said, this is a quote, "No individuals have made credible allegations to the FAA about this issue."
And where are the people who passed this biographical test? Are they in air traffic control towers?
Some of them have already gone through the academy. They are now at air traffic control centers and towers. And I want to let you know, we reached out to the NBC FAE starting in January. They refused to talk to us. They said in February they sent a message to their members, don't talk to Fox News. And then last month sent this out saying if you talk to the press, you do so at your own risk.
Is this biographical data test even legitimate?
They are very legitimate. The military uses them, and the the security apparatus of the country uses them. But this test, they say it's been validated, but they've never put the validation studies to the public. And there are great questions as to whether this test is legitimate. Most people are saying nope, and there are documents that we have found from the FAA which support that no, it's not legitimate.
Unbelievable. Coming up, we track down the man at the center of this scandal and go to Capitol Hill to see if Congress is taking notice. And we'll be putting this whole story online tonight on foxbusiness.com. So after the show, you can take your time, read the story that is, and share it with others. We'll be right back.
If you're an adult with type 2 diabetes and your A1C is not at goal with certain diabetes pills or daily insulin, your doctor may be talking about adding medication to help lower your A1C. Ask your doctor if adding once-a-week Tanzium is right for you. Once-a-week Tanzium is an injectable prescription medicine that may improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes, along with diet and exercise. Once-a-week Tanzium works by helping your body release its own natural insulin when it's needed. Tanzium is not recommended as the first medicine to treat diabetes or in people with severe stomach or intestinal problems. Tanzium is not insulin. It is not used to treat type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis and has not been studied with mealtime insulin. Do not take Tanzium if you or your family have a history of medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you're allergic to Tanzium or any of its ingredients. Stop using Tanzium and call your doctor right away if you experience symptoms of a serious allergic reaction, which may include itching, rash, or difficulty breathing. If you have signs of pancreatitis, such as severe stomach pain that will not go away and may move to your back, with or without vomiting. Or if you have symptoms of thyroid cancer, which include a lump or swelling in your neck, hoarseness, trouble swallowing, or shortness of breath. Before using Tanzium, talk to your doctor about your medical conditions, all medicines you're taking, if you're nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant, and about low blood sugar and how to manage it. Taking Tanzium with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases your risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects with Tanzium include diarrhea, nausea, injection site reactions, cough, back pain, and cold or flu symptoms. Some serious side effects can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney failure. Ask your doctor if adding once-a-week Tanzium is right for you. Go to Tanzium.com to learn if you may be eligible to receive Tanzium free for 12 months. Make every week a Tanzium week.
New York State is reinventing how we do business by leading the way on tax cuts. We cut the rates on personal income taxes. We enacted the lowest corporate tax rate since 1968. We eliminated the income tax on manufacturers altogether. With Startup New York, qualified businesses that start, expand, or relocate to New York State pay no taxes for 10 years, all to grow our economy and create jobs. See how New York can give your business the opportunity to grow at ny.gov/business.
The real question that needs to be asked is, what is it that we can do that is impactful?
What the cloud enables is computing to empower cancer researchers. It used to take 2 weeks to sequence and analyze a genome. With the Microsoft Cloud, we can analyze 100 per day. Whatever I can do to help compute a cure for cancer, that's what I'd like to do.
Millions of Americans are about to fly on their summer vacations, unaware some of the air traffic controllers guiding their planes may have cheated on a key test to get their jobs. A 6-month investigation by the Fox Business Network into the hiring and training of air traffic controllers raises troubling questions about the nation's air safety and the men and women the Federal Aviation Administration hires to staff control towers. Here again, Adam Shapiro.
In 2014, an audio text message was sent to certain members of the National Black Coalition of Federal Aviation Employees.
I'm going to send it directly to you because it's exactly how you need to answer each question in order to get through the first phase.
The audio text suggests cheating took place on the entrance exam to become an FAA air traffic controller.
I saw you shaking your head. You looked very upset as you heard that.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I put a lot of effort into this, and I haven't even gotten a chance. And it sounds like someone gets an email, and then they get their chance. No effort needed, no debt required, no up and then moving to Alaska to go through school, no studying for exams, no sweating over an ATSAT. None of that. That seems very unfair, very unjust, and utterly disgusting.
At the beginning of the FAA BQ, there's a disclaimer asking you not to share the answers for the test and the questions, and they've gone and done the opposite.
Are you shocked?
No.
Why not?
Because I received that voicemail.
Others got this voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to talk about it.
No.
Why do you want to talk about it?
I want to talk about it because I joined the NBCFE, and when I saw what was going on, I knew that I had to stand on the right side of the fence.
Though Miranda did receive the audio text and the subsequent email with screenshots, she says she did not cheat on the biographical questionnaire.
I believe the flying public has a right to know this is going on. I believe the people engaged in this behavior need to be held accountable.
We contacted Shelton Snow, the FAA employee who sent the text, and invited him to be interviewed, but he refused. So we tracked him down in Washington, D.C.
How do you do, Mr. Snow?
Mr. Snow, it's a simple question. Just want to ask you why you gave the answers to those students on the air traffic control exam. We have members of the NBCFAE who said you gave them answers to the biographical questionnaire.
He continued to avoid answering our questions.
But there are people from the NBCFAE who say you gave them the answers on the test. Well, who do I speak to about this?
No comment.
They say you gave them the answers. I'm just trying to find out if that's true or not.
We also contacted the president of the NBC FAE, and she's not returned our calls. The FAA has said that the CTI program failed to produce better qualified candidates than people right off the street. But Fox Business obtained an unpublished FAA draft document from October 2014 titled Studies of Next Generation Air Traffic Control Specialists, which directly contradicts this.
And here's the actual quote. Overall, larger proportions of VRA, that's the vets, and CTI hires achieve certified professional controller status than did general public hires. Based on those differences, a simple model suggested that preferring VRA, the vets, and CTI hires over general public hires could produce more net certified professional controllers than a policy of equal or no preference for recruitment sources.
They're saying that the CTI program benefits the taxpayers, benefits the flying public, and if you have someone with prior military experience and someone who's gone through one of these certified CTI programs, the outcome is going to be better.
Why won't the FAA make this public? Well, this is a year old, this report we got.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me. It's my belief that the FAA is engaged in a continual game of hiding the truth, hiding information from the public on this. Not only public, there's numerous congressmen involved in this.
So we went to Capitol Hill. There we spoke with Illinois Congressman Randy Hultgren.
There is a debate within the FAA that the CTI programs, which they created, were being pushed aside for people hired off the street. And what the FAA is saying is that people off the street are just as qualified as people who've gone through CTI.
And I just fundamentally disagree with that. You might get lucky of finding a few people that are qualified and able to do this. But again, what I've seen from CTI programs, you've got passionate people willing to commit themselves who have put their own personal investment in this, certainly financially, but also the time and energy to become qualified to be able to serve in these jobs.
Congressman Hultgren is a co-sponsor of the Air Traffic Controllers Hiring Act of 2015.
The biggest objective is to make sure that our air travel is still the safest in the world and making sure we've got the most qualified people serving as air traffic controllers. So that's the purpose of my legislation, is to make sure that we are getting those who are committed, who have the training, and are qualified to do this very important work.
We played the audio text for him.
It's exactly how you need to answer each question.
It sounds like cheating. It sounds like someone inside getting information out to people. Very concerning. Again, when we want safe skies, we want people who are qualified serving in these roles, and to have a test that has trick answers to get through the first process really concerns me.
For the CTI grads left stranded, attorney Mike Pearson is convinced there is a discrimination complaint.
It can be anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 potentially plaintiffs that will be part of that class.
We asked to interview FAA officials, but the agency refused.
What's been the negative impact on CTI students from all of this?
They come into the system believing that the last person on the face of the earth that's going to discriminate against them is the very entity that is entrusted with non-discrimination. And I think that sends a horrible message to anyone.
These grads have also racked up student loan debt pursuing CTI degrees.
About $15,000.
$25,000.
A little over $30,000 in debt.
With thousands of air traffic controllers facing retirement, the transparent hiring of a workforce so important to safety and, yes, national security should be the concern of all Americans. These graduates remain committed to aviation and still one day hope to fulfill their dream of working in the towers. For those still younger than 31, the only path forward is each year try and pass the mysterious, some would say dubious, biographical questionnaire.
The test was last week, was it not? Show of hands, who took that test again? Ben, why didn't you take it? You aged out, right?
I aged out.
Show of hands, you took the test for a second time, you got your scores, who is now eligible to work for the FAA? Ariana, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm curious how a valid biographical I failed it the first time and passed the second time. I'm curious how that happened.
I mean, you age out this year.
I will never be an air traffic controller. And that's heartbreaking. It really is.
There's 3,000 of us who are more than willing to do the work. So if anyone wants to reach out to us, please do. We're ready. We're passionate, and we want to work.
And Adam Shapiro is back with us again. Adam, what are the chances any of these folks that we just saw will actually become air traffic controllers?
It's a great question. If Congressman Hultgren's bill should become law, then the FAA would have to go back to these students, and it would grandfather in people like Van Ovney, who right now are too old, but they would be grandfathered in. Otherwise, the only option is to take the BQ, the personality test, again and again. Matthew has a chance. 100 on the ADSAT, although that's been discarded at this point. He's only 26. But Miranda's going to be too old to take it.
Unbelievable. Now, when we come back, we meet some of those people Adam spoke with whose dreams of a career as an air traffic controller were dashed because of these dubious tests. And Miranda Riley, the woman who helped blow the whistle on this whole story, joins me next.
My mom, she makes underwater fans that are powered by the moon. She can print amazing things right from her computer. She makes trains that are friends with trees. My mom works at GE.
I smoked a lot and quit a lot, but ended up nowhere. Now I use this.
The Nicoderm CQ patch with unique extended release technology helps prevent the urge to smoke all day.
I want this time to be my last time. That's why I choose Nicoderm CQ.
Our oath isn't an empty gesture. It's the heart and soul of Terminix Nation. The Terminix Ultimate Protection Guarantee. A vow that we kill every termite in your home. Not here, not now, not in my house. Terminix.
If you're looking to invest in gold and silver, here's a website that could change your life and your financial future. It's Monex.com. At Monex.com, you get instant access to a wealth of timely information on the gold and silver markets, including the latest prices on bullion and on the world's most popular gold and silver coins. At Monex.com, you'll also get exclusive forecasts and recommendations from some of the world's most respected financial analysts who explain why it's so important to own gold and silver for both wealth protection and profit potential. At Monex.com, you'll also have instant access to a variety of free special offers, including the widely acclaimed DVD presentation, Why Gold, Why Now? Available only at Monex.com. Discover the many convenient ways you can own gold and silver and how diversifying in precious metals could make a big difference in your financial future. Get the facts on gold and silver. Log on now to Monex.com.
Monex.com.
There is wonder in me and wonder in you. It's a sense of place, something you can see, feel, and taste. And when you're moved to wonder, wonder moves in you. Wonders never cease.
Contact your travel agent to book your 2016 Scenic River Cruise and fly free to Europe.
Banking on Wells Fargo, Bank of America, or JP Morgan Chase, they're all components of XLF, the financial sector SPDR ETF, which includes over 75 financial stocks in the S&P 500 to help add diversification and minimize single stock risk. Why invest in a single financial stock when you can own the entire financial sector of the S&P 500? Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Go to sectorspiders.com for a prospectus containing this information. Read it carefully. Visit us on the web at sectorspiders.com.
Welcome back to our special investigation of the FAA's questionable hiring practices concerning air traffic controllers. With us now, Miranda Riley, who aced her air traffic control exam, but was told it wasn't good enough. Miranda, welcome to the show. I want to start with some of that sound we heard, the audio text that you received. Remind the viewers about the cheating. Listen to this.
Allow me to go to work and come home, provide you with an email that will be extremely crucial in the opening stages of this hiring process. There are some valuable pieces of information that I have taken a screenshot of, and I'm going to send that to you via email. I'm about 99.99% sure that it's exactly how you need to answer each question in order to get through the first phase.
Miranda, what did you make of it when you got this text?
I mean, when I received the text, when you listen to it, doesn't it kind of sound like there's some information that's not being, I guess, forthright? You know, I saw a system that was in play previously, and it seemed to be an objective system, and here suddenly things were being, you know, turned over completely, and it seems like this special interest group is having something to do with it. I didn't really have the whole story at that point, but it didn't seem, you know, outright. It didn't seem something that was valid. It didn't seem like something that you would want to necessarily, you know, utilize.
You told Adam, you said, I knew I had to stand on the right side of the fence. What did you decide once you heard this? You decided you didn't want to play.
Yeah, I mean, I got the voicemail, and, you know, I thought for myself, you know, for a minute, you kind of go, okay, what do I need to do? How do I play this game to be hired? But then, you know, I go back and I think of the people that I was in class with, the people that I thought, you know, would excel at this job, of the veterans that I went through the program with, and how knowledgeable they are and how experienced they are. And to say that, you know, the people on the other end of this text message now have a leg up on these people, it didn't seem fair.
So there had to be outrage on your part. I mean, were you angry? Were you viscerally angry at what happened?
I was angry, but I was really disappointed, you know? I mean, here's a government that you hope encourages people to better themselves, to go through school, to get as much training as they can, to succeed in every way that they can by their own initiative. And now this same government is using shady systems to hire, you know, government employees.
The thing that amazed me is that you came out and you said, I'm going to talk publicly about this. Adam contacted you and you said, yes, I'll be the whistleblower. Why were you willing to do that?
I didn't really think about it. I just did it. After the hiring changes were announced, within 48 hours, I created a Facebook page. I knew that all these different programs, were kind of disassociated from each other. We had all these different graduates, all these different students across the U.S. that weren't maybe necessarily being informed of everything that they needed to hear, that maybe had heard about the hiring changes but didn't really know how to connect with other students and graduates. So I started this page, and at this point, I had already been involved with the page when the hiring process was going on. And I had already started hearing and connecting with so many of these graduates across the U.S. and hearing so many stories of people that have given up so much for this, for their life dream. I mean, Matt and Ben and everyone that you saw in that video have pursued this with a vengeance because it's what they want.
And we'll be talking to them in the next block here. Miranda, sit tight. Both you and Adam will come back in the next block. We're so pleased to have you here. Thank you. And still to come, the Air Force veteran who was good enough to fight for his country, controlling NATO and U.S. Air Force fighter planes. There he is, but was told by the FAA he's not good enough to work at an airport. How is that possible? And the young man who was so passionate about this career as an air traffic controller, he quit his job at Google. They tell us more about their stories coming up after the break.
June 1st at 8. It's a brand new time for a whole new perspective. Only Kennedy cuts through the mainstream clutter. And Fridays, Stossel pulls no punches on politics.
Every day you're getting things done. We're right there with you. We're helping farmers feed the world. With a roof over your head and the pillow beneath. We are fueling your tank and the shirt on your back. Our 60,000 American workers are exploring new ways to keep you moving forward every day. We are Coke.
Every villain knows a getaway car requires abundant power, impeccable style, and of course, the cover of darkness. But what if it's a different kind of getaway you're after? The F-Type convertible and the F-Type coupe from Jaguar. Oh, it's good to be bad.
Jaguar has been ranked highest in customer satisfaction with dealer service among luxury brands by J.D. Power.
Is your lawn suffering from shade spots, worn spots, or pet urine spots? Do you constantly throw seeds then only see weeds? Introducing Grass Shot, the amazing new hydro seeding system that actually attaches your seed to the ground. So now you can grow grass in those tough spots exactly where you want it. To give you a lawn that grows fast, thick, and full, guaranteed. And it's so simple. Attach any water hose, turn the knob, and spray. And Grass Shot's high-quality seeds will blend in perfectly with your existing lawn. This shady area never grew grass and now is green and perfect. This downtrodden walkway is now lush. And this pet urine spot is gone. The secret is in our environmentally friendly foam that secures the seed and loosens the soil below, giving you the perfect environment to grow lush green grass where you want it. Golf courses and municipalities determined years ago that hydro seeding is the best way to grow grass. Grass Shot took that same technology, made it portable, and now it's available to you at home. On half this yard, we used an applicator that throws seeds randomly in all directions. And then we used Grass Shot to apply seeds exactly where we need them. Weeks later, just look at the difference. To show you the sticking strength of Grass Shot, we sprayed it on this cinder block. Weeks later, had lush green grass. So stop using seeds that blow away easily. With Grass Shot, you'll put your seeds on lockdown. Call now and get the amazing Grass Shot for just $19.99. That's enough to do 350 spots or 175 square feet. Order now and we'll double the size free. Wow, up to 350 square feet. But wait, call now and you can double the offer and get a second Grass Shot system plus our 25-foot pocket hose Ultra, the best-selling expanding garden hose in the world. Just pay a separate fee. Grass Shot is only $19.99. Call now.
Call 1-800-728-9250 to get your special offer, Grass Shot. Call now or go to getgrassshot.com. So call 1-800-728-9250. That's 1-800-728-9250. This offer is not available in any store. Get the lawn of your dreams with Grass Shot. Call now.
We're back with our special investigation on the FAA's suspicious new hiring changes. Joining me now, two people whose dreams to become air traffic controllers have been dashed. Ben Ovni and Matthew Douglas. Welcome to you both. Great to have you here. Ben, I'll start with you. I don't understand how the FAA can turn you down and saying essentially there's no difference between you and somebody off the street when you have military experience. Your reaction?
Yeah, I'm not sure how they can turn me down at that point. And quick note about my military experience. I was not a fighter pilot. I worked on the AWACS as part of the mission crew and back. I had a radar scope and conducted intercepts. There was someone else in the front of the plane flying it.
Air Force veteran, though, lots of experience, somebody who's been in the field for a long time. It's simply shocking to me. Matthew, to you, I mean, what a stellar candidate. 100 on the big test, 4.0 at school, great grades, obviously. Do you still think that you want to become an air traffic controller? And why did you decide to go public?
It's difficult if I want to still pursue this passion. You know, we're going through all these politics and we haven't even gotten our foot in the door, so I have no idea what would be waiting on the other side if I were to get in. It's disheartening and it encourages me to pursue other things.
Ben and Matthew, I want you both to answer the next one. So Adam, in his package, he played for you the sound from this person offering the answers to some candidates, not you, obviously. Ben, first to you. What was your reaction to that?
It was a punch in the gut. I mean, I didn't sign up to defend people who cheat. That's not acceptable in this society.
Matthew, you had a strong reaction to that as well.
Yeah, I did. It's just really hard to put that much effort into it and then just see somebody else have the red carpet rolled out for them. It's blatant corruption. It's dishonest conduct by those in power, and that allowed them to have an opportunity instead of people who put forth the effort.
Unbelievable. And, you know, I sit back and look at this, and I think a lot of people, this is a complicated story, but one of the reasons it's so difficult to understand is that it's so astonishing that the government would do this with people who are supposed to be protecting us. Choosing political correctness, really, over safety for the American public. Miranda, I want to turn to you. If you had Michael Huerta, the head of the FAA, in front of you right now, what would you ask him?
I think a very simple why. Why take a list of people that have proved themselves through their schooling or through their experience and throw it out? Why? Why not utilize that? Why not take the people that are the most driven, that pursued this for years, and throw it out?
Well, I think it raises a really good question, because there's something like 3,000 people out there, right, Adam?
There's about 3,000.
Who have basically been thrown out.
They've been told they have to start over. Now, in the case of Ben, he's too old. He's aged out. But then you get someone like Matthew, who's, 26 years old. He took the BQ, the personality test, twice. He has not been deemed eligible. But then the key question in all of this, the agency insists the test is valid. So how did Ariana not pass it in 2014, but then pass it in 2015? They threw out the 2014 test. It was valid, they say, but they threw it out, created a new test, which they say is valid, and you've got these two diametrically opposed outcomes for her. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. And Ben and Matthew, quickly back to you. Last word here from both of you. Ben, what will you do next? Where will you go?
Well, I'm currently employed in the aviation sector. I'm at a great company. I'm in a good spot.
Well, good for you.
I'm still fighting this for the people behind me, so they get a fair shot.
And Matthew, you, what will you do?
I love airplanes, so I'm going to keep staying around those like Ben. I'm in the aviation industry, and I'm going to keep moving forward with that. It's one thing to note is that by these actions, you're going to have qualified candidates like myself who are going to turn their back to the job of serving the community, protecting the skies, and pursuing other passions. And who knows what the outcome will be of that.
I have to say, I look at the three of you and I think, these are three young people I'd like to have protecting me, protecting the flying public. Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. Thanks, Miranda, Ben, and Matthew. We'll be right back.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
When a moment spontaneously turns romantic, why pause to take a pill? And why stop what you're doing to find a bathroom? Cialis for daily use is the only daily tablet approved to treat erectile dysfunction, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right. Plus, Cialis treats the frustrating urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use. Insurance coverage has expanded nationally, and you may now be covered. Contact your health plan for the latest information.
Automotive innovation starts right here with a control pad that can read your handwriting, a widescreen multimedia center, and a head-up display for enhanced driver focus, all inside a redesigned cabin of unrivaled style and comfort. The 2015 C-Class, at the very touch point of performance and innovation.
What should I do with my money? Whether you're a multi-million-dollar investor or just starting out, the answer is Betterment. Betterment is the smarter way to invest and is the largest automated investing service in the U.S. If you're building wealth or preparing for retirement, we provide a personalized recommended asset allocation, and your money is put to work in a globally diversified portfolio. Experience smarter investing and secure your financial future. Betterment. Investing made better.
New York State is reinventing how we do business by leading the way on tax cuts. We cut the rates on personal income taxes. We enacted the lowest corporate tax rate since 1968. We eliminated the income tax on manufacturers altogether. With Startup New York, qualified businesses that start, expand, or relocate to New York State pay no taxes for 10 years, all to grow our economy and create jobs. See how New York can give your business the opportunity to grow at ny.gov/business.
It's more than the cloud. It's security and flexibility. It's where great ideas and vital data are stored. With CenturyLink, you get advanced technology solutions from a trusted IT partner, including cloud and hosting services, all backed by an industry-leading broadband network and people committed to helping you grow your business. You get a company that's more than just the sum of its parts. CenturyLink.
your link to what's next.
We're wrapping up our special report, Trouble in the Skies. Adam, last word here. What can we expect next?
Well, you're going to see Congressman Hultgren try to push his bill into law, get it through at least the committee and then perhaps voted upon. That would help these kids if it passes. But you're going to see the FAA stand up. They insist that this BQ, the biographical questionnaire, is a valid test, and they stand behind it. They insist it works. They've never released the validation study. We asked for it. They won't let us talk to APT metrics. We've asked them tonight for a response to our reporting. We'll see what they have to say. But they stand behind the hiring practices in this new gateway test.
Adam, thank you. Well, the FAA responsible for ensuring the safety of 87,000 flights each and every day across the country. You would think the agency would endeavor to hire the best possible candidates for the job of manning the nation's air traffic control towers. But as we discovered this hour, you'd be wrong. Instead, the agency uses a personality test as a gateway to these jobs. The goal? Boost the numbers of racial and gender minorities among air traffic controllers. Social engineering, petty political correctness appears to be job number one at the FAA. It should be our safety. Fox Business will continue to follow this important story over the days and the weeks ahead, and you can also see all of Adam's great reporting on foxbusiness.com. That's it for the Willis Report. We'll see you right here tomorrow.